Greetings my gooey little kitten, and welcome to Baldur's Gate 3.
Imbecile.
I know I was just as surprised as you to learn it's not a gate, but a game.
Just trust me.
A game I have never played before, but my excitement was palpable when I found Honour Mode. A difficulty so brutal that the first enemy in the game could be a run ender.
Did I just die?
The roles so brutal they'll put you on a watch list, and the bosses have something called legendary actions, which are extra powerful, totally balanced moves that will definitely not make you want to smash your computer. And if any of this results in the death of your characters, your one save file will be deleted. So you have one chance to make it through the whole game with nothing going wrong.
Rid us of this worm.
And I was in the unique position having never played the game before, so my run would be virtually blind. And assuming I would not beat the game on my first try completely blind, I started with a fighter, one of the less adventurous classes, promptly named SoonDead. Now I do run a Dungeons & Dragons game, so I know one or two things about the mechanics, thus I picked a half-orc for savage attacks that make critical hits hit even harder, and I was planning on making my fighter a champion that would make critical hits easier to land. Little did I know how fucking stupid this decision would be, but at the time basing my success solely on gambling sounded like a funny idea. It was not. The journey started on something called the Nautiloid, which was a ship with tentacles set ablaze, invoking feelings of confusion and danger. But I was too impressed that a hentai convention had come this far.
Imagine I get the thing in my eyeball and I die. I blew up. Alright.
After getting blown on the flying tentacle ship, I then found a talking brain and crushed it before a boss babe frog lady leapt from the sky and started telling me she wanted to fly the ship. I had heard good things about Baldur's Gate 3's story, but I'm starting to think those people were just high while playing. Pushing through the dangerous ship, I saved someone called Shadowheart, which made my Twitch chat reach the highest level of interaction I've ever seen. Together the three of us said our favourite fantasy slurs and took control of the ship. Reality kicked in, however, and the frog orc lady and the fan service didn't know how to operate a tentacle-based vessel, thus it crashed immediately. Waking on the beach, I found Shadowheart, and we were jumped by the brains who wanted revenge for what I did to their homeboy.
You're taking 6 damage. Did I just die and come back to life?
Yes, in the first round of combat, my character was killed, but half-orcs have the ability once per long rest to come back to 1 HP upon death. This ability was promptly used in the first round of combat outside of the tutorial. You could tell I was cool, calm, and collected and not feeling the pressure of the challenge I just set for myself.
The first actual fight, it was pretty easy. Spoils of war. Oh, crazy. A brain?
Afterwards, I was grappled by a totally not suspicious red-eyed, paled, sharp-toothed sweet talker.
Welcome to Australia, you dog.
Now with a violent twink in my group, I tried talking to the first person I saw as I needed to find out where I was. They immediately threatened me with violence, so I tried to de-escalate the situation.
I'm just looking around. Oh, he's actually just gonna try and kill me. What? Who is this guy? I didn't know that it was life or death.
This was my wake-up call, that every conversation in this game was one option away from combat. And remember, combat can lead to death, and death ends my run. Following from here, I found the boss babe lady whom was aboard the flying hentai ship, and trying to save her went really well and definitely didn't end in violence at the first opportunity. Freeing her made everyone in my party super excited, myself included, as I stripped the caged lady and put on her clothes. Okay. This game is starting to make more and more sense now. Finding a magical portal, I rescued a mage by ripping him out with my massive fighter muscles, resulting in almost all of the early game companions joining me. Almost all of them.
Yo, who's this guy?
Provoke the blade.
and suffer its sting.
Oh, nah, he's cringe as. Oh, no, we're killing that guy.
Venturing forward, I found a fortress with soldiers trying to enter, but apparently there was no time as they were being chased. They argued as one stopped, pulled out an arrow from a shield, and then entered a silent staring contest. There must not be a lot of time here. Besting the goblin horde, I gained access to the druid grove, where I punched the first person I saw to assert dominance, just like prison. Speaking of dominance, I moved further in, and I found druids protecting a grove and stopping a riot from breaking out over a captured child. Having no stake in the matter, I immediately knew that it was my business to stick my nose in, and I marched into the sacred druid-only place. And I'm glad I did, as here I laid my eyes upon Korga. Now, knowing the common thread that binds all gamers together as pretty video game characters, it's quite common for developers to add them in to help market their game. Thus, this was my first time playing the game, but I had seen on the internet love for Shadowheart Frog Lady and some fiery tiefling among others, as well as someone called Minthara that my Twitch chat kept waffling about, but Korga stole my gaze. She wanted to take charge of the grove. Ambitious? She was a powerful druid, nature enthusiast, and she threatened to have a child eaten alive by a snake, so you know she was great with snakes.
Keep still, devil. Tila is restless.
Yo, babe,
Come, Korga.
this druid's sick. Can we get her on the team?
So my dumb fighter read her mind and used her thoughts to convince her to not have the child eaten. Really, I was just looking out for the snake, as last time I ate a child, I got a big tummy ache. Korga wanted me to get the tieflings, the one who had defended the gate, out of the grove. And at this point, if she wanted me to jump into a blender, I'd say NutraBlend or Ninja Pro. Searching the camp, I found the tiefling leader who was like, please help with the goblins. I then found a goblin trapped in a cage. Perhaps the goblin can help with the goblins. So I freed her in hopes she could lead me to her camp, and because goblins are the best D&D race, let's be honest.
She's a person.
Your soft heart will be the death of us.
Fuck off.
Not sure I want
I'm
to.
sick of Lizel already.
But at this point, I didn't know about the secret back exit, so I tried to sneak my way out the front. Not my best move, not my best, I'm gonna be honest here, not my best move. It did not go that well. A fight quickly broke out against the tieflings, civilians, shopkeepers, the goblin Sazar, and the cringe lord from the gate Will. Hopefully he's not an important character. But unfortunately I was overwhelmed. My character's still low level, so there wasn't much I could do. And remember, if all my party members die, that is the end of my Honour Mode run and the story of SoonDead. As the final blows descended upon my characters, the screen went dark. And we all got thrown in prison?
What? You can go to prison?
Escaping from prison, no one seemed to care. I had just murdered their family and friends, enforcing what I already knew, that the druids, mainly Korga, were the best characters here. I left the camp and went down the road where some crackheads started yapping about an owlbear, a peaceful creature in a nearby cave. I told them to head back into the cave to get revenge for their friend. By getting sight on the cute creature, I remembered a certain someone had nature enthusiast on their MySpace profile, so I made sure the owlbear and its cub were safe. Speaking of safe animals, I made a friend with a dog, who I let smell me so it could find me at camp. Interesting thing about camps, our hero SoonDead needed a nap when everyone's favourite thirsty twink started getting a bit weird with his parasocial relationships.
He's sniffing
I swear.
me. Lunge at the monster.
Oh, I get +5 to it as well.
Don't be disrespecting SoonDead. Trying to give me a little nibble. Do you know how annoying that is in like Oblivion and Skyrim when you get a vampire?
I did not bring this danger into our camp.
True.
Perhaps whoever did should be more careful in future.
Give me another steak. Look at them speaking up to SoonDead. Holy, put some respect on SoonDead's name. That's all I can say. Talk to the dead. Oh my god.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
It's that easy. You want to find backstory about your party members in D&D? Just... Now I'm going to pat the doggy. This is a good game.
After pulling out my wood for the camp's twink, I needed to infiltrate the local goblin clubhouse. But I was a wee bit distracted helping an old lady. Surely nothing bad will come from this.
Please stop by my house. I'd like to thank you proper.
Yo. Oh my, I don't think I can show this next bit on Twitch.
Speaking of old ladies, I entered the goblin camp and I found their priestess who offered to help me with the magic worm in my head. Not sure if I've mentioned that that's like the main plot, but worm head, not good. This was good, however, I thought, until she drugged me and tied me up. Normally I was down for this, but she brought a friend to watch. Either join in or get out, I thought, so I ran from the room. Luckily, the two powerful villainous enemies had object permanence, and despite having an entire army that would come to their aid, they forgot about me. I knocked out the priestess, hoping I could patch things up, wanting to be friends with the goblins, but that's just not a mechanic, and she disappeared. Shiver my timbers and call me Sally, I thought. There were 2 more goblin leaders, and I can hardly make only 1 of 3 disappear, so I planned on doing that to the rest. The first was some drow named Minthara, who I started pounding from the back, but my Twitch chat said I was doing it wrong. And clearly I was, as I was getting absolutely rolled, but booty blasted. Spank donkulated, thrown into the basement without a slice of cheese to keep me warm. This was bad. And if I were to die here, my run and the journey of SoonDead would be over. So I puckered my lips and wrapped them around a long horn and blew really well, which made 3 big men appear and started going buck wild. I also did this in the video game. Thankfully, the big men saved me, but unfortunately I had made mention to them earlier I would pay them a lot of gold for their troubles. Gold I did not have. Out of the fire and in to the other fire, it would seem.
Why, you succulent schemer. I know just the thing to sate my appetite.
Luckily for me, I did my best anime boy impression and said, looks like things are getting interesting. This scared them off, so they vanished out of reality, but poor Choc was too slow. Another fight won, easily, might I add. But amidst the fight, I did notice my character, who was built around critical hitting, could not even hit the target, let alone land a 19 or a 20. So I changed them from a useless champion to a battle master. Much better. The game should be much easier from here on out. Turns out the next boss could do nearly my whole party's health bar in 2 attacks, but luckily for us, a helpful druid was nearby to take a hit. Turns out this guy could be a new party member, along with Minthara, and the other 2 losers I killed earlier on. Yikes. Things aren't looking good if I want to mix up my party of 2 fighters, a wizard and a cleric. Surely there's no better team comp in the game, I thought, as I had my back door broken in and only saved via running away from the fight and sneaking back in to resurrect everyone. Needing some inspiration for beating the next boss, I went to see Auntie Ethel, the nice old lady in the woods, who was so kind she ripped out my eyeball and kissed it for good luck. Thanks, Auntie Ethel. With this new boon, surely I would win. Returning to the goblin lair, I had to fight my way back in, as they weren't super duper friendly with me, but here I noticed how powerful and spacious the high ground was within this area. I had used it a little bit in my first attempt, but now knowing how much room there was, my second attempt would look a lot different. Dare I even say, a little explosive, as I brought smoke powder barrels. Jaw Ragslin couldn't one-shot me if I blew him off. In the video game too. And it is that simple. Crazy how easy the game is when you can hit an enemy and, you know, when you aren't dead. Leaving the goblin camp, I met with the best character in the whole game, the new first druid of the grove. Round of applause, round of applause. After helping out the best character, I was free to explore. I found some strange doggies, hunted down a demon for some nice paladins, and I stole her underwear before meeting with the Geth, who seemed like real nice people. Lizel, the angry frog lady from the hentai convention, told me to chill out and not say a single word while she spoke to her people, but I don't think she knew who she was talking to.
Imbecile, stay back.
Her boss wasn't pleased with this, so I threatened to kill him, which he was pleased with. Okay.
Finally, I find a wolf in a world of lowing cattle.
But we weren't out of the woods yet. They wanted a weapon that Shadowheart kept hidden, and I respect finders keepers, so we needed to keep that on the down low. But he quickly pulled out the village jutsu, so I quickly rolled to know what bending he was domaining. He wanted to read my brain, and I don't let anyone in there or out. But a successful roll kept him away. So he then wanted to kill me because he read my fake thoughts about nothing, but I was like, do it, pussy. And I then failed one of the 4 skill checks. This was great inspiration for me as a dungeon master myself. I should totally get my players to constantly roll until they fail. Not rewarding your players for a successful roll is a wicked way to play. Speaking of rewarding the players for their success, the first round of combat began, and the first 2 actions taken dropped Gale harder than my jaw watching this unfold. But it's okay, this was only the start of a short 60-minute fight, no biggie, no big deal. Light work, honestly. It's just that easy, team. It's just that easy. Round of applause. Round of applause. Oh, man, I had won the fight. So easily, in fact, that Frogzell got mad thirsty about it that night.
Your odor alone is enough to make my neck sweat.
I told her to pipe down, as my heart lay in another grove, if you catch my drift.
One day soon, you will wonder how my lips might have tasted, how my fingers on your skin might have felt, and you will wish you could return.
Venturing forward, we made our way into the mountains, and Frogzell was trying to act cool like nothing had happened the night before, and started yapping, yes again, about her people living somewhere nearby. Last time we talked to her people, it went super well, so I was real keen to see what the haps was. Entering the creche, I was told to speak with this Geth, but after having a nice chinwag, nothing happened. The only option I got was to show her Shadowheart's toy. Not wanting to do this, I was left with nothing. No other option was prompted, and the quest still said to talk to her, so I must have missed another dialogue option to further the quest, but talking to her again did not go well. I could have seen that coming.
I didn't know that it was life or death.
A fight had broken out, and by the time my characters got to attack, Frogzell was at half health and frightened, forcing her to run, provoking an attack of opportunity which went really well. Shadowheart was also hurt, and SoonDead was living up to their name. To retaliate, I used for the first time Coal Lightning. With Shadowheart being a Tempest cleric, I could max the damage of this spell. Now I don't know why I thought this, but I had it in my mind that Coal Lightning only hits enemies. It very much does not do that, it hits everyone. So you can imagine my surprise when the spell says cast on 6 targets. Uh-oh, YOLO did an oopsie doopsie. This would be insane to channel Shadowheart's divinity and max out the damage of this spell. You might think things are looking bad, but casting Coal Lightning landed 30 damage on this chair in the corner, meaning no one would stub their toe. Thus, the fight was really easy. This gained us access to the leader of the Geth, who had 145 health, 17 AC big stats, could negate 10 damage from the first hit each round, could teleport around the room, could teleport a magic sword right next to you twice a round, and had 4 teammates. But worst of all, they had an unpronounceable name. What is that? But do not worry, my dearest viewer. With a good opener, we could easily start the fight in our favor.
Okay, we proc that, so now I can try and go for this. If we get this early on, nah, we'll just crawl into a hole and die. Really wanted critical miss. We love that. We love that here. Just need to go for another hit. Two critical misses in a row. Yep. Please hit. Please. 18. That's not bad. That's not bad. Gale. Come on, bro. The guiding bolt gives advantage, Gale. Advantage. 1, 2, 3. He has 4 health. The sword fly, of course. That gets us down to 1 ad, not including these swords. 20 damage.
Things were bad, but as long as Lysel could land this shot and do 5 damage, a measly 5 damage, we could kill the last ad and focus on the boss. But instead of that, she misses. He kills Shadowheart, jumps across the map, and one-shots Lysel from nearly full health.
Yeah, wicked.
This was it. The end was closing in. Either find some way to one-shot the boss, or the story of SoonDead would be over. And that is when I saw it. An open cliff face on the bridge that led to the fight. SoonDead was strong being a fighter and would have a real chance to push them off. The last soldier died from Lysel's poison, leaving the boss, SoonDead, and 2 magical swords. We were teetering on the edge.
I have 1 health. I have 1 health? I just healed.
To get distance from the boss, I would need to use dash, costing an action, so I could not disengage, meaning moving away would provoke an attack on my character. But to reach that cliff, I had to use a potion with my bonus and sprint, praying that the sword would not do 9 damage. It immediately did half my health bar.
Oh, I'm dead. Far out, dude. That's it. My boy SoonDead. SoonDead should have named him Never Hit.
And that was the story of my first attempt at beating Baldur's Gate 3 on Honour Mode completely blind. Since recording this, I have more stories of this journey, so if you enjoyed, let me know by leaving a comment down below or hitting that like button. And if this video does well, I'll be sure to get onto those. Thank you for watching, and shout out to my Twitch subscribers and YouTube members. Rest in peace, SoonDead.
What a fun game when everyone's just friendly to each other, you know?